Hi, I hope you're awesome. This week's video is going to be talking about red skin. So a lot of people come in or contact me regarding dilation of red capillaries or broken capillaries, very commonly through the cheek or chin, nose region. So this video is going to try and cover a little bit of why some of us are more susceptible or more prone to this problem, and then how it occurs, what triggers it, and then hopefully we can talk a little bit about some solutions. So let's start with the why. So what is it? Sometimes it can be tagged as rosacea, which often means reddening of the skin, but there's different types of rosacea and they definitely present uniquely from client to client. And holistically speaking, it's not always just the skin's fault. The skin is a roadmap of your inner health. So usually rosaceas are linked to gut health. So there is definitely something going on in the gut that we need to address as well. And the things that often trigger it, anything inflammatory and heat inflammatory. So alcohols, heavy exercise, anything increases your circulation, you will definitely see it in inflammatory foods, especially things like dairy products, any toxins really, and that's why alcohols are involved, because they're so toxic for the liver. So that's why holistically we always want to keep in mind, even though it's presenting topically, there's an internal trigger that does need to be addressed. However, the problem is predominantly the skin, you will see it in more of a lighter skin or Anglo-Saxon bloodline. And some people genetically have their capillaries, like me, they sit very close to the top of the epidermis. So our skin, we were learning that it has, I'm trying to teach anyway, that it has the epidermal structure, which consists of 5 layers as thin as a piece of paper. And then there's 2 layers in the dermis. And the top layer is vascular, which means it's all those red capillaries. And they're important because red capillaries actually are the life of the body. They're the blood, and they're carting the nutrition in the blood to the network in the skin. So back in my career early days, I used to do a lot of lasers and IPL treatments on this condition. But why I'm not a fan of that strategy anymore is because you're cauterizing healthy blood vessels or dilated blood vessels, but then you're reducing the nutrition to the skin as well. So I'd rather treat the problem opposed to shutting off the system in the body, because the body will hopefully regrow itself in time, or it becomes more sallow in time. So once it's broken, it often goes purple. And what I explain to someone is, it's a bad analogy, but if you look at a really strong alcoholic skin and they've got that purple tinge on the skin, once it's purple, the little capillaries have snapped, and they will need a form of laser to shut them off and to recede them back into the body. So the laser bulk heats it and it cauterizes it, and then the body will naturally eliminate it. But when they're dilated, that's an opportunity to actually get proactive. So when they're dilated and you're flushing red, or they're starting to hold redness, that's where we can start getting a hand on treating that capillary. So capillaries are very elastic. So when the blood rushes through the wall of the capillary, it dilates. And we just spoke about what makes it rush through. So anything that increases blood circulation. So we've got, like we talked about, the foods that could trigger it, the warm weather, the heavy exercise, hormonal fluctuations. So that's why you'll see often in pregnancy, women are very prone to vascular dilation because of the change in estrogen and progesterone in the body. So there's lots of reasons why it dilates. What we want to do is strengthen those elastic vessels. And the best way to strengthen them is with vitamin A and vitamin C. Very powerful. So those antioxidants have the ability to strengthen the vessels. So when the blood rushes through the vessels, you're not getting that thinning wall, which is leading to the break. So you can be proactive about that. Our skin structure is simple. Some people genetically have those vessels sitting higher to the top, and they have a lighter skin. The problem with the lighter skin, we know they're losing more of those key vitamin A and C through light exposure. Maybe they work on a computer for a living, maybe they are in and outside. Either way, we can't avoid artificial lights, direct lights. Summer in Melbourne is on its way. The weather is warming up, which is very exciting. So it does mean we want to start nurturing those capillaries even more. Stress is interesting. We're learning that our skin is very rich in nerve endings. And because it's so rich in nerve endings, the mind's perception to life is going to stimulate the nerves in the skin. So will the blood. So if the blood is pumping out more stress hormones due to internal stresses from medications to foods to your brain's perception of your day, they are all going to affect inflammation, which can also flare this. So trying to address the root is always something that I want to put the detective hat on and figure out what that individual is, what triggered it, and then also the genetic and environmental factors, and then we want to start making a protocol to get those antioxidants deeper into the skin. So we learned that those antioxidants have the ability to strengthen those walls, but we need to manipulate it to get it deep, because remember, our skin's quite waterproof. It's designed to keep our antioxidants on the top layers. We want it into the deeper layers, into at least the top of the epidermis, so it can actually impact the capillary wall and strengthen it up, so when the blood rushes through it, it's not thinning, it's actually getting stronger. The elasticity is coming back. Now, another part is our skin thins every year. So about 1% genetically from birth. So every year your structure of the skin is thinning. The lighter your skin, the quicker you're going to lose those antioxidants. So we need to be more proactive about feeding it and protecting it with the right products. However, we do want to keep in mind that that structure is still thinning in the dermis. So that's why for me, I do a course, 6 medical needling treatments each year. And I've been doing that for a little while now, probably 8 years now, to reverse a lot of that, and which has actually given me structure. So it's thickened the structure of the skin, and it stimulates these cells in the base of my skin called phytoblast cells. And phytoblast cells make my collagen elastin, so they're going to make the whole network of the tissue more elastic and plump. And they also make the water manufacturing cells called glucosamate glycans, which gives that water jelly between the cells. So it's thickening and hydrating from the inside out. So that's going to also help my capillary system, because if the skin isn't as thin and fragile and paper on top, you're not going to have as much visibility in the capillaries, and you'll also see a much better absorption of your vitamin A and vitamin C. So treatments that really help are first preparing the skin with the antioxidant spectrum, so vitamin A, C, and E, and trying to build cleverly more and more international units into your daily program. Protecting it with antioxidants that block blue light and really good quality sunscreens. Predominantly, I would rather you use something that has mineral and antioxidant based, because chemical based sunscreens will irritate, and they will also cause a cascade which loses the antioxidants that you need, the vitamin A and vitamin C. So these are 2 really good ones that will be able to protect your skin daily, especially because we're trying to reduce inflammation and chemicals trigger, so we don't want to do that. So we've got that option, and then as a strategy, I love medical facials because I can use the EnvironDF machine, and that manipulates the antioxidants into the deeper layers of the skin. And if you're doing it consistently, you can actually get it down into those capillary wall layer, where you're actually pushing the antioxidant into the cell, which will then make that elasticity wall much stronger. It's not a quick fix. It is a progression, because it took a long time to get to a rosaceous skin or really dilated red skin. I do deal with a lot of injured skin from different aggressive treatments that they might have sought out prior to starting on a more holistic journey. And the good news is everything is repairable. It just is a matter of finding a protocol that is going to suit your lifestyle and your budget, and also it's achievable for you. And the more you understand that philosophy of the anatomy of the skin, how it works, why it's there, then chasing that root issue is going to get you the most amazing results. So to finish up, capillaries that dilate, they are very treatable. It is always a little unique because everyone's trigger is slightly different, but you will often see it in the lighter skins, and that's why we need to be more clever with how we're feeding it daily and what treatments we use to address it. Yeah, so I think that covers it. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments box below, and enjoy your day. Bye for now.